Everyone, my name is speaker8 and today I shall stand opposite to the motion. Ladies and gentlemen, after having heard everything that side proposition have had to say for the past few minutes, I find their arguments to be quite like a pipe, to be honest, because they might be sturdy on the surface, but they are certainly hollow from within. What side propositions seem to have relied on to make their case is a lot of emotional reasoning which they have failed to back up with suitable facts. Today, they wish to implement a model which is not only severely utopian, but is also unrealistic in nature. And let us not forget, ladies and gentlemen, the proposed model of free public education for all has had a very bad track record, something I shall elaborate on later. Through the course of this debate, we shall rebut both substrands of today's topic, where I shall tell you why making education compulsory is a bad idea, and my teammate Kanish will tell you why making education free is not the right way to go. Having heard so much about the United States of America today, and how its model of education is somehow quite similar to the proposed one, when on the contrary, the US government has had a very bad track record when it comes to spending on free education. Since 1970, the United States has increased its spending on free public education by 150%. However, if we were to compare the test scores of two students within the same timeline, we would find out that the results have remained more or less stagnant, if not worsening. To put it in perspective, ladies and gentlemen, their model has not just proven to be financially absurd by adding a tremendous amount of load to the economy, something they fail to substantiate, ladies and gentlemen, something they fail to touch, but it has also proven to be academically devastating because there has been no guarantee of results being provided by the students. No, thank you. Why has it been so, ladies and gentlemen? This is because, contrary to side proposition's belief, education is not merely a 16-year-long process that aids you in earning a livelihood. That is merely a facet of the argument.
Point of information.
Yes, please.
You said that education is not a 16-year-old thing, but what I want to insist is that for the entire life of education, the primary education is the foundation. Like when you build a house, it is the foundation. What is your take on that?
Okay, so you are talking about foundations here, right? What do you... considering that you haven't even touched the economic perspectives of what I'm saying, and making free public school education for all, what it essentially does is add an absurd amount of load to the economy. I believe that making a small our model is the better of two negatives, ladies and gentlemen. In the proposed model, students are lumped together in the same class, regardless of their differing attitudes, aptitudes, or skill sets. What they are essentially going to end up doing, ladies and gentlemen, is not fitting the shirt of the man, but by manipulating the man to fit the shirt. Subjecting every child to an imposed structure of education, no thank you, regardless of his interests, is more than a little dictatorial in nature, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, by making it compulsory, what side opposition is doing is that there is an authoritarian narrative that runs through and throughout their model, ladies and gentlemen. Let me remind you what happened the last time their model was followed to the letter. When the last time their model was followed to the letter, ladies and gentlemen, Hitler was spreading propaganda through free and public education, which was supported in the United States, and the policies of racial subjugation and racial discrimination became the ideals of an entire generation, which ended up causing the World War II, something the government of North Korea does today. There is, as I said, an authoritarian narrative to their model, ladies and gentlemen. To conclude, their model is not just unrealistic in nature just because of the virtue that they refuse to touch on its economic perspectives. It is also incredibly utopian and cannot exist in the ideal world. For the betterment of the global economy, ladies and gentlemen, for the betterment of us all, and finally, for the betterment of the quality of education throughout the world, I beg you to oppose.